This week's Parsha is Parshas Beshalach. In Parshas Beshalach, we have the following phrase, Zeh Keli Va'anvehu. This is my God, and I will beautify him. These words are found in Shiras Hayam, the song sung by Moshe after they passed through the Red Sea. Moshe broke out in song, and one of the phrases that he says is, Zeh Keli Va'anvehu, this is my God, and I will beautify him. This verse is the source for what we call Hiddur Mitzvah, beautifying mitzvahs. That beyond the actual halachic parameters of a mitzvah, there is a separate mitzvah to make it as beautiful as possible. The applications of this are numerous, of course. A person can make his beautiful mezuzahs, beautiful tefillin, beautiful sifrei Torah, even though, the words as written, let's say, in a Sefer Torah are kosher, to make them even more beautiful, more exact, more nicer ink, nicer parchment, more beautiful atzei chaim, the wood that holds the parchment, and so on and so forth. We apply this to many different mitzvahs and a wide range of activities. Here's the question. Rashi, on this verse, on this phrase, Keli Va'anvehu, says that from here our rabbis learned, like we said, that of Hiddur Mitzvah, to beautify mitzvahs, and he gives a few examples. One of those examples is a talis noah, a beautiful talis. A talis is kind of interesting. The actual material, the actual cloth of a talis is not actually a mitzvah. The Torah says that on a four-cornered garment you shall put tzitzis, but there is no commandment to actually wear tzitzis. The commandment is to, if you have a four-cornered garment, to wear tzitzis. It's what we call a mitzvah kiyumis, mitzvah that you don't have to do, but if you decide to wear four-cornered garment, then you put the tzitzis on them. There's an obligation to put tzitzis on a four-cornered garment that you are wearing. Modern times, many people have the custom to wear tzitzis consistently because, of course, it's a mitzvah, and you're fulfilling a mitzvah, so that's great. So why not? Now, if the talis itself is not a mitzvah, and it's only the tzitzis that extend from the talis that are the mitzvah, when Rashi says to make yourself a beautiful talis, as we do today, people have the custom to have beautiful talisim. We make sure it's wool, we make sure it has beautiful black stripes, or maybe it has other beautiful stripes. Some people have a crown on their talis. So we see that our custom is to definitely beautify the talis. But the problem is that the talis itself is just the trigger for the mitzvah. It's the four-cornered garment which makes you obligated to put tzitzis on the four-cornered garment. But the garment itself is not a mitzvah. Now, the poskim do say, though, that, let's say, maybe we'll say that any appendage to a mitzvah will also be a mitzvah to beautify it, meaning that anytime you have something which is a intrinsic part of a mitzvah, even though it itself is not a mitzvah, there still will be a mitzvah to beautify that item, like a talis. Or think about an esrog box. People put their esrog in a special box. It may be silver, it may be ornate wood. So maybe you're doing something good when you beautify an appendage to a mitzvah. The problem is that Ritzi Pesach Frank asks, is that if that's the case, why don't we make sure our houses are extra beautiful? Because we have mezuzahs on our doorposts. Because it's an appendage to a mitzvah. The mezuzah is affixed to your doorpost. So we should make sure that our houses are beautiful, and that's preposterous. So they come up with a pretty straightforward answer, is that the only time there's a mitzvah to beautify an appendage to a mitzvah is when the appendage of the mitzvah is only for the mitzvah's sake. Meaning that if there was no mitzvah of shaking an esrog, of holding an esrog, then we wouldn't have an esrog box, a beautiful esrog box. No one would be selling beautiful esrog boxes. But if we didn't have a mitzvah of mezuzah, everybody would still have houses. So when the appendage of the mitzvah is intrinsic, is the only reason why you have it is because of the mitzvah itself, then there is a mitzvah of Hiddur Mitzvah, of beautifying that mitzvah. And that's the way it's applied across the board, that we have a beautiful talis, we have beautiful esrog boxes, and so on. When it's a item which is only there to service the mitzvah, then there is a special, there's an inyan, it's a good thing to go and beautify that item. The immediately preceding Shiras Hayam, the song sung by Moshe after the Jews crossed the Red Sea, it has a paragraph. There's a paragraph in the Torah which talks about that the Jewish people now believed in Hashem. Now, just to put it in the proper historical context, they had passed through the Red Sea. The Red Sea's waters had fallen upon the Egyptians, and they saw the Egyptians lying on the shore, on the other side, the far side of the Red Sea, dead. And they saw the miracle of Hashem. At that point, it says the Jewish people saw the hand of God, and they realized and they trusted in Hashem. Now they had emunah, they had faith. The question is, of course, obvious. They saw 10 plagues in Egypt, and only now they believe in Hashem? Only now they trust in Hashem, or more appropriately, have emunah in Hashem? And what's interesting is that the Medrash says that the Jewish people shouldn't be given any credit for the fact that they had emunah, because they saw so much, so of course they should have emunah. But the verses seem to say clearly the exact opposite, that there was a special, the fact that they had emunah was something very praiseworthy. Now think about it for a second. Why is it such a praiseworthy thing? Why is it so amazing that after seeing 10 plagues, splitting of the Red Sea, and the annihilation of their enemy, why is it a chiddush? What's so special? What's the novelty of them believing in Hashem, trusting in Hashem? Think about the question. Let me know what your answers are. Have a good Shabbos.